All right. Hello, everybody. All right, this is nonsense. There is no way this camera moves magically in the night. Maybe my cats are grabbing my camera and moving it around. I'm never, in frame in this thing. Maybe if I do this. Oh well. Oh my God, the closet is open. Give me just a second. There it is. All right. Cool. Welcome, everybody. Oh, I see some familiar faces. Thank you for coming and for coming today to this live broadcast to Animation Tuesdays. That is going to be a thing for sure. And we are going to very soon be joined by Elena. So, Elena Felici is going to be with us today with updates uh, of the Are We Going Places package that we are creating together. So yeah, very soon she's going to be with us today here. Hello, Jose. Hello. How are you? Yeah, Team Paiva Felici forever. That's right. All right. Good. So I have a question. Um, Yesterday the stream went down, and I was wondering if it was because of the actual heat of the machine, running too many things at the same time. So today I set up like a huge fan pointing at us, right, the machine and me, and I want to see if that makes it better, or if you can hear the thing. I know if I keep quiet you wouldn't notice it, but maybe you can hear it a little bit, even though this mic should only pick up things from my face. Um, it might be a thing that you might get a little bit more of a noise, and I know it's horrible, right? All right, cool. That's good. So, all right. So, what have we been working with lately? So let me just show you. Let me jump into Unreal so you can check it out. And there it is. And someone cast the challenge about changing rapidly and easily characters for the I know it looks horrible, but it will make sense in just a jiffy. Swapping characters with the ALS. I know that this thing is old and it might have its quirkiness, but still, to this date, the best mantling and IK footing that I have found, and it's for free. And even though this dude, I'm guessing, was hired by some big company, and now this thing is completely abandoned, where it's still working very well. So enough talk, and let's showcase. So yeah, there it is. Now we have this. Sorry, nope. All right, there it is. Yeah, I found a way to very easily, and this is thanks to Unreal Engine 5, that you can do this at at record speeds. It's very easy, to swap, even though these dudes are going to look weird, but that's a thing that we can fix, pretty easy. Like, don't sweat it. So if you really want this thing to be working on your side, you can fix that little issue, very easily. And this thing comes with everything, right? It comes with the ragdoll, and it comes with the slow motion and the ragdoll, and yeah, everything fun about this thing is still here. But the clothing, right? That it's bound to do, weird stuff every time. So let's check out how I did this, because it was pretty easy. I'm going to first explain it just a little bit, and then we're going to try with a brand new character and see if, if I was lucky, or if it is a thing. So, fairly easy. The first thing that came to my mind was I'm going to try to make these two skeletons compatible, right? And that is achieved by going to your character, right? In this case, it's this G Knight stuff. So we go to meshes, and you're going to select the actual skeleton for the skeletal meshes of this character. And remember, this might not be here, so you're going to have to go to, and again, it should be on the skeleton. Even though you have the skeleton tree in the mesh, you're not going to have, the asset detail is going to be completely different. So you gotta be sure that you go to the skeleton tab on your persona editor of your character, and you're going to hit Windows, and you are going to hit asset details, and that will turn on this thing that might be, somewhere, and you can dock it here and leave it there. And next time you open Unreal, will be there forever and ever. And you're going to have to create a new array element, and you're going to assign the ALS mannequin skeleton as its compatible skeleton. That's it. That's all you need. And then you save and everything. Now, in the past, we achieved it by doing retargeting. Like, you were retargeting like everything from the animation blueprint, from the ALS character to whatever character that you want to swap, right? Or to use with the advanced locomotion system. But now, because we do have this thing, and that way was not great, because the IK footing and a bunch of other stuff within this system works with very careful name and position sockets. And those sockets are in the skeleton of the ALS skeleton, right? Of the skeletal mesh. And it was a pain to move everything with all the names, and you would have to do that for every single character that you want, to retarget to that thing. So now it's just this, all right? Once you get this done, you're going to see that, a bunch of quirkiness start happening. Like, if you try to search for the actual animation, it will show the ALS animations on it, mainly because this character on its own doesn't have any animations. All right, it's like devoided of all animations. So that's it. And now let's check out the other side of this coin. So I'm going to now edit the ALS character controller blueprint, like this one right here, the one that comes with the demo. And all you need to do is hit Control E to enter and edit. And you're going to go to the event graph, and let me get rid of something here so you can see, how this thing would look as soon as you do exactly this, right? So it will look like this, right? And if you hit play, you're going to be able, with the letter M, you can change models, and you're going to be able to switch, from one model to another. And let me show you how you achieve this. So the only thing that you need to do, and this is going to be in the event graph, lonely event graph, just these couple of things here. And what you would do is simply to, oh my God, am I not showing Unreal? Oh yeah, I'm showing Unreal. My monitor was very off in time, like at the beginning of the thing. All right, sorry. So this is the place where you toggle the mannequin with the letter M, and by default, in this one we'll have the this character, this one right here. So if I now hit play, you're going to see that you are going to be able to only switch from this character to this character, right? But now, because now the G Knight skeleton asset is compatible with the ALS skeleton asset, you can come here and you can assign the G Knight blah 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 VA, and that's it. Now you can simply hit compile and save and close. Now you can hit play, and if you want to switch to that character, you hit M, and now you're going to be playing with this character. Now, I notice, and I know that you're noticing it right now, that the clothing is not working. And this might be something that, goes over me. Maybe when Elena gets from work, because, she gets from work to her house and she immediately connects with us. So it's the amount of sacrifice. Be sure to give her a lot of love, because all the knowledge you're going to get from her is with that sacrifice. Working the full day and then getting home to do live broadcasting. So yeah, be sure to give her some shouts and love in the chat. All right, as she gets here. So, as you see, the clothing is not working, and I believe it has to do with the fact that originally, it is hidden, and when you try to show him with the letter M, then for some reason, Unreal thinks like, yeah, this character doesn't have any clothing, because I checked when I loaded and put it on the game. So now that you're switching to a character that had clothes, then you are, so I tried to fix it, with a couple of notes. I tried everything. I never got to make it work. But like the only way that I could make it work was, to assign it. Like because this body mesh that is this one is the one that is going to get populated as soon as you hit M. It gets populated with this um, Gothic Knight, right? So all I did was to assign it. So it is empty, and you can simply assign it to the actual body mesh of the visual mesh. And you can search here again for G Knight, and you select it, and now you save it. And now you're going to have this monstrosity here, but it doesn't matter because it simply works. As soon as you hit, play, now we have clothing working. And all we need to do is to hide the other one, and that's it. So again, I'm Mr. Workaround, and I'm making this, the most horrible way. But I'm giving you, the big scheme of things, right? So the thing works just by assigning whatever character skeleton as ALS character skeleton compatible skeleton, right? So that's it. Now let's try it with any other character. I don't know. All right, I should have here the mannequin, the actual mannequin, right? So it should be here in mannequins, meshes, and here it is. So for this one, I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm guessing that any will do, but I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to then double click on the skeleton asset of our new mannequin of Queen, and I gotta make sure that I have the asset details, and in the asset details I already have some character for the NPC and impact. That's good. Now I'm going to add another one and another element on this array of compatible skeletons, and all I need to do now is to assign the ALS mannequin skeleton. That's it. I saved, I close, and now I can come here and and I select the character controller and Control E, and now I'm going to remove the G Knight from the list, right, from the skeletal mesh asset, just because we're not going to have issues with clothing with this one. So these can remain completely empty and just be populated as soon as I bring in any of our monies down here. So let me just check where they are. And here it is. We have money. I'm going to choose money simple just because, money has a bunch more bones. And I'm guessing this one is going to be more secure. And that's it. Let me compile, save, minimize this down here. And as soon as I hit play, I can move around. And if I hit M, now we have some sort of homunculus. And that is good. This is a very simple fix. What's happening here is that clearly Manny doesn't have the retargeting options correct. I believe that's the thing. So let me check if that's the thing. So I'm going to hit browse here, and And let me double click on the SK mannequin, and let's go to the skeleton tree, and let's open up our retargeting options. And of course, they are not set. Everything is set to animation. So when you set, when this is set, the retargeting options are set to everything to animation, it will take into account the translation and the rotation of all the bones in the, in the original skeleton, right? And so that means that all the animations will not only rotate the bones, but also translate them. So it will take, the actual proportions of the other character. So all we need to do is to right click on the root and recursively set translation, retargeting to skeleton. All right. And now everything is going to be skeleton, meaning that the original skeleton is going to be maintained, all the positions, and just the rotations from the animations are the ones that are going to affect the skeleton, right? That is good because the skeleton now won't have the actual proportions of the original character that is donating the animations. And the only thing is that you're going to have issues with contacts and stuff like that. So let's see, how good it is. But because we also need this dude to maybe jump and do stuff, we need to assign just the root as animation and the pelvis as animation. We need to return those two because there are going to be some root bone animations, right? That will need the actual translation, and one is the root and the other one is the pelvis, for sure. So now let's save everything, and now let's close this because I know this is going to be fine. What could go wrong? All right, it's horrible. Look at that. So it's like working, but not working. Wait, did I save? Maybe I didn't save. Retargeting options, that is good. Huh, maybe. Yeah. All right, let me try one more thing. I'm going to assign the old mannequin, all right? And see if that works. In characters, you're going to find, and again, all these mannequins comes from, going here where it says add, and go into where it says add feature or content pack to your game. And I just added a third person, mannequin to it, and that's it. All right. So that's why this has a old mannequin. So I'm going to test with this old mannequin and see if that's a thing. So it has its own skeletal mesh. So this one, I gotta be sure that if I go to asset details, I can add the ALS mannequin to it. I'm going to save and I'm going to close. Now I'm going to hit the character controller, Control E. And here, instead of that SK mannequin, the new manny, I'm going to choose the old one and see, how it looks. So I can select it from here and assign it with the arrow. Now that is the one that should work. Now let's try to save everything. Let's just check that this dude has the retargeting options correct also. That's it. It's wrong. So everything through this skeleton and just you and you to animation and save. And now let's save everything and close. And now I'm guessing this one should work. Yeah, this one works. So there are things with characters that are not based. And again, this is a very, very old system. Like, this thing says that it's compatible for Unreal Engine 5, but really it had not changed at all since, I don't know, 425 maybe. And it, there is someone at Epic, every time there is a new version of the engine, like, it opens it, and if it runs, then it qualifies as the next version, and that's all that I'm doing on that regard. Like, there is no, it's completely deprecated. There is no work being done on this character. But still, it really does some, cool movements, and it's cool to use. So it may not be compatible with things like the new mannequin, or for that matter, with metahumans. Although, we can try. because, right, we still have time um, before Elena gets here. And this is the kind of thing that we are here for, right? All right, so let's check the chat just for a tad. Um, Thank you for the clarifications for the translation retargeting. I never got that until now. Yeah, sure. I mean, oh, a Paragon character? That's going to be the old way of doing things. So that might be a thing. Yeah. But for any other character, it's fairly easy. Oh, Elena is going to it's going to get here at 2 o'clock my time, so it's going to be in half an hour. Yeah, it's going to be roughly in half an hour. She's going to be here with us. Hey, Brent, how are you? Which version of Unreal Engine are you running now? I'm running 5.1 for this particular exercise that we are doing with Elena, mainly because it's the current one, and I don't want to do like a freebie of a stuff that is going to force you to install a preview one of 5.2, because that might not be the thing that you're working with right now. Like, everybody should be working just in 5.11, with its memory issues and stuff like that. But I wouldn't jump to 5.2 preview one, and much less doing work in it. And because this thing that we are doing, and maybe let me just go back to Unreal so I can show you what we have been working on. That is so cool. So I'm not going to save this, and let's go here. So this is what have we been working, lately. Oh, what the, what's happening to your feeds? And what about you? The same? Oh yeah. All right. So I have not touched this, since yesterday. Let me check this one. All right, this one is good. So what did I do to mess this one up? All right, so this one is good. You are clearly not well, like, so let me just check. Yeah, you have this, and if I go inside here, this is good. All right, maybe it was I don't think so, but the only thing that I changed was that I make this skeleton compatible with the ALS. Let me remove this one from here. So delete, and I'm going to save and close and close. And now, would you move correctly? Nope. All right, not to worry. Elena, it's working on creating this system, a system that will allow you to animate without having to go on play, and will allow you to do locomotion, not only on how this called flat surfaces, but it will read out terrain and stuff like that. So that is going to be very cool. I don't know how did I broke this one, but it doesn't matter. Everything is on her side now, and she has been working on it. And she gave me very, very good news this morning that the thing was working, and that she was going to showcase it today. Right? So keep your eyes peeled to where Elena when Elena joins the live broadcast. All right. All right. This thing, the sun, is a thing here. It comes and goes. So let me fix this a little bit. I'd rather be a little bit, yeah. So that is good. Cool. So let me keep reading. All right, let's do one thing. Cute monkey, I know that you want this for a Paragon character. I don't think I'm going to go there because it's going to be a bunch of retargetings and creating all the sockets and everything. And I know that there are a lot of tutorials on how to do that for ALS. So I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial about that one. But I know that you are going to be able to find any, there are many people who has been done that. Just a fast search on YouTube will point you to the tutorial that you need to make Paragon characters work with ALS, right? Let's continue. Thank you for the clarification. All right. Which version of Unreal? We're running 5.11 for now. Very soon, as soon as we get to 5.20, that to me is going to be all right. Let's move to the next one because to tell you the truth, 5.11 have some weird issues. Every time you force it and you have a bunch of textures in the thing, all the maps get corrupted and it's hideous to work that way. So that's why 5.2 will be like a very easy jump, right? In this time around. Is that comparable with Catboy Skeleton? It should, because Catboy is a mannequin type of skeleton, so it should work. The only thing, no, it should work. Yeah. Catboy is it's a blueprint character because it has like a separate head from the body, because it was the first time that they used the face AR on a character. All right. All right, Larson. Hello. I believe that ALS death was hired by Epic. I heard that also, Koina. Hello, how are you? All right. So yeah, I heard that he was hired by Epic, and I'm guessing like he should, right? All right. So Cute Monkey says, so there is no chance for ALS to work with Paragon character. No, I mean there is a full set of a big library of tutorials that shows how that works. So you don't see any tutorials. All right, I might get some and and show them in a while. Get to know what 5.2 will be better. Out of great to know. Yeah. Out of a gate, it's better because it doesn't have those memory issues like it has. 5.11. Anybody who has worked with it, with some heavy stuff, it's going to realize very soon that it will corrupt the map maps, and it's horrible because the only way that you can make it work again is to reset it, to turn off Unreal and turn on Unreal again. So all the garbage, from the video memory, it's cleared. So yeah, just by that, it's like a must. As soon as as we get 5.2, that is going to be the main engine of this channel for sure. All right, yeah, Elena should be here fairly soon. So what I'm going to do is, if you give me a couple of seconds, are you going to make videos about MetaHuman Animator? Yeah, as soon as we get it, like I did get what they did with that product, and it's amazing. And another thing that is amazing about that product is how the synergy of everything that Epic does, keeps adding up, right? From the very beginning, when Tim Sweeney said, "All right, if you love it, set it free," and he set free the code for Unreal Engine 4 and let it loose, for all the different industries to get it and start working with it and make it better because they need it for some particular, application. The thing has just been escalated every time and every day. And what they did with this animator has to do a lot with, believe it or not, with reality capture. Reality capture became famous because they were the first to mix the captures that you can get from pictures, right? with the captures that you can get from LiDAR. And it was combining the two, and that's why they got those beautiful captures, very detailed captures. Like it would create the full mesh just by the photograph, and then the tiny details were, fixed with the LiDAR information. And, that thing is why, reality capture is so good. And now they learn from that, and now they apply it to MetaHuman Animator. MetaHuman Animator, and maybe you can remember, you don't remember, but a couple of months ago, like a year ago, Epic, I don't know if they bought, but they put some money into OpenCVs. Or it was like there now was going to be like an OpenCV plugin for Epic, for Unreal. And I was like, yeah, I know where you're going with that one. And OpenCVs is this technology that it's open source, and it's a tracker. Like you just need to do a CV, so a curve, and that curve you can put it on any surface, on a movie, all right, on a video, and that thing is going to follow it, right? And there are, up to this point there were products like Faceware that were using it already, and they only work with the video part. So you just it is still very um convenient, because you can do the actual face capture just with the CVs out of a video. So you just need to take a video of your face, and then you can run the thing offline and be sure, to all the CVs to, align to your face, and then the thing will track itself with AI, which is great. But now Epic took that to the next level, and they are combining OpenCVs with LiDAR for the face capture. And that's why it looks so cool and so uncanny, organic, because they are taking the best from both worlds. Sadly, that would still lock this technology to an iPhone, because the iPhone is the only um, device or phone that has LiDAR, actual LiDAR on it. So that is going to be a thing, because it has an infrared camera on the front. So that is going to help you capture better quality face performances. But at the same time, it's sad for us, because we are bound to need an iPhone to work with it. But because it does work with LiDAR, it works with professional A-grade type of capture devices. So they got the best for both worlds. Sadly, we need to use an iPhone, but people on big studios are going to be using exactly the same thing as you to capture faces, but with much better hardware, right? And that is going to be great, because if you start working with it and you get good at it, then when you get to a big production and they tell you, well, do you know how to work with this thing? Yeah, because I use it every day in my home. I don't need your hardware. I can use it, with my iPhone, and you're going to be fully prepared, to work with them. So that is always, a good thing, right? MetaHuman Animator, yeah, for sure. That thing is great. Let's see how, they also show, the new deformers, how AI is training the bones to get better deformation from, from muscles and from fat tissue and stuff like that. So I wonder how much time we're going to wait to finally have, this character, this metahuman that has a beautiful face and also a very, very good body, because that's the main thing with metahumans nowadays, right? The face is beautiful. The body, even though they improve the skeleton for better deformation, there has never been good enough skin blending. Like you are bound to have some artists that were going to do the skin fixing after all the animation, the animators went through the character. Then you need to have those dudes that were sculpting on top, removing interpenetration and assuring, volume on the muscles and stuff like that. And that was like a painful job. But now, with AI, it's going to be a lot easier, and they are testing it. And very soon, I know that we're going to have a new version of metahumans with beautiful heads, beautiful groom, and now, wonderful bodies. And when that thing is done, a new market will emerge of people, finally, um, uh, getting to create clothes for metahumans. Like I know that thing has not exploded because no one is using the body of the metahumans. Like everybody is, rather takes their own characters and put the head of the metahumans on those characters because the bodies are not good enough. Not only in the formations, but also on the actual supply of clothing. Like it's not good. Like no one's dressed like a metahuman to be sure. Like a hoodie. I don't know, maybe, right? But that's why I loved also mixing metahumans with city crowds because the city crowds has some, believable, dressing code where you're going to have people, even though they look very urban. There is a way to transfer those, jackets and shirts and skirts and stuff like that to your metahumans, or do the other way around. Transfer the head of your metahuman to those characters, and you're going to have, a bunch of. That's a thing that we could do in this channel very soon on a Tuesday. We could mix, and I did a video about it, but maybe we would take a little bit of time, to run it with you and transfer, metahumans to the city crowd and use their animations and use their bodies, but with our own face on those characters. That would be a good thing to do in this channel for sure. It's killing it right now. You know who is being killed? Roblox. UEFN has been a bomb, a big not in a bomb like bombing. It's been a complete disrupted new thing. When you say that you are going to share 40% of what the most profit gross game in history, I believe, that is Fortnite, you're going to be sharing 40% of whatever Fortnite does with anybody who does islands. That thing was like everybody at Roblox. Um, Roblox has like this is infamous because of how badly they pay their creators. If Epic does just a little bit better than Roblox, and you can see the actual quality of what you can create with UEFN, like nobody's going to stay at Roblox. Like nobody. Like I checked like a couple of days Roblox stock, and the thing was going down, like very very down. And it was at the beginning when they first show Fortnite for Unreal Engine for Fortnite. So yeah, that thing is killing it for sure. All right, Kid Monkey says MetaHuman Animator will be compatible with iPhones 11, 10. No, I mean everything above 9 will work, because all you need to have is the actual hardware, and that is the infrared camera. If it does have the infrared camera, it will work, and it will also work on iPads. Every iPad that does have that camera in the front. So if your phone can be unlocked by seeing you, it's completely compatible with what we're talking about with MetaHuman Animator. Might have to get a new iPhone then. No, I mean, it should work with what we have already. Again, if your iPhone unlocks when it sees you, then you're good with that one. MetaHuman body skeletons are also just weird. There are now they're weirder because now they have, they do have this new. Let me showcase it here. So they do have the new, like, finally we have the mannequins and the metahumans, with the same bones, and I believe uh, even metahumans get some new bones. Yeah, they're not exactly the same. Maybe because this one is the simple. Let me open the normal queen. All right, yeah, this is the one. So you can see that now, maybe open them one beside the other so you can see the main difference. So this is what we had before, and even simpler than this one, because this one at least has, the rotation for the forearms, right? And the same for the thighs and the calf. But for the rest, it's exactly as what we used to have with mannequin, with the old mannequin, right? But now we do have these corrective bones, and these will work only, to apply volume and stuff like that, and to retain volume when you make this thing maybe do something like this. You see this bone stays here, and now it should, it should get the actual compression here. So this one is holding, the compressive part here. And the one on the elbow is assuring that you have volume still on the on the on the elbow. So the thing doesn't collapse upon itself or do, weird stuff. This one, the simple one, you can see it right there, that is not the same. So this one has a horrible, interpenetration as soon as you get around here, and the volume on the elbow is not there. This is like rubber here. So yeah, they finally, make a little bit better deformation with this, and this is exactly, the one from the not simple. I don't know. One is the simple and the other one is the normal one. Yeah, the normal one has exactly the same skeleton as a metahuman, and exactly the same skeleton as metahuman crowd from the Matrix Awaken thing. So the crowd example has this same skeleton. So everything fairly shortly will start be. So this is going to start being the norm, like this skeleton for everything that has to do um, with the Epic Marketplace and all animations in it. Very soon, I'm guessing, they are only going to provide everything in this skeleton, because at some point we had this weird place where we had like very different skeletons like everywhere. Like Echo had a skeleton, and the mannequin has its own skeleton, and metahumans came with their own skeletons, and it was silly, right? They're all epic, stuff, and they should all for sure be sharing, the same skeletons, right? um and now we're finally there, so that is amazingly good. So let's see. That camera, like Intel RealSense, yeah, everything that has some sort of lidar, um and the ones that I'm talking about not only are, capture photograph, video and lidar, but they do it on a stereo, manner, so they get a lot more depth information, from those sensors. So yeah, those things are used um, in the industry, are very, very good, and this thing is going to be fully compatible with it. So we have metahumans body skeletons are also just weird. Yeah. It will be great if every character had the same skeleton and you wouldn't have to go through auto retargeting. Yeah, for sure. Like at some point when I was a little bit younger and bolder, and now I'm older and balder, I said, like, this whole Paragon situation is nonsense. Like, they do have this very good skeleton on them, but it's not compatible with anything else that has to do with Epic. And I believe those were like the proto skeletons that later, prove to be good and then transform into what a metahuman skeleton is. But the thing is that even within Paragon, you can find, if you play Paragon, you would know that you would realize that even, you know, from the same characters, they do have issues sharing animations because at the start there were only like 8 characters, right? 8 champions, and those are very, you know, alike. And then they started, you know, getting better and better and better and bringing more characters and more champions. And those, you know, the latest champions you can find like completely different and skeletons more alike the metahuman, but from the first one were very very different. So I was thinking at that time, like someone, not me now, right? Should get all that thing and make them work with the new, you know, skeleton, and release them with all the animation and everything. But you know, to be characters, and again, you know, UEFN will be the glue that will make that possible, because now that they're going to be able to put new characters, at least not plain characters into Fortnite, but at least, you know, NPCs and stuff, it's going to be good, right? And very cool to have those Paragon assets revive in Fortnite. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle. But to be sure, if you have enough time, you should be able to make them work for sure. Yeah, Roblox is horrible. You know, they have been sued for child labor and stuff like that. Never a good thing. And I thought creating islands just for fun and practicing. Now, can you gain money from it? Lots of money from it. I mean, I don't know still, and it's not clear everywhere how the actual paying algorithm is going to be. But you know, they gave some heads up about how it's going to be, and it clearly had to do with things like uh, retention, new users, and the amount of people. So if you get a bunch of people into your island and your island is interesting enough, so people stay, and you know, you have visits, you have retention of people inside your island, and then you have new users entering, you know, your Fortnite to enter your island. Well, that is going to be rewarded now, and for sure it's going to start making money for a bunch of people right now. Like they said, like this thing started counting at the beginning of this month, so everybody who had an already working creative island with visits and stuff, we're going to start, you know, prorating the stuff and giving you money. So contact us and we'll you know, start looking for the check in your mail. That was the thing that they said at the end of that presentation, and I was like, what? They're crazy. They're not going to start paying, but they start already paying for the thing. So that is crazy for sure. All right, so more sun. Let me lower this. All right, so let's keep talking a little bit more till we I'm going to create the actual Zoom call for Elena to join. So give me just a second. So let me read more questions. So do you know if this island has to be actual game or could just be hangout spots like VR chat, for example? All right, that's a very good question. And if you go to Fortnite right now, and you need to install it. All right, this is a thing now. We're not, so you need to have Fortnite installed for sure. And when you open it, you can change. Let me just do it, right? Let me host with video. I'm creating the Zoom for Elena to join because she's bound to join us pretty soon. So give me just a second. There it is. And now I'm going to copy the link. Oh, come on. Copy the link. Oh my God, Zoom is the worst of the worst of the worst. Come on, copy the link. Cool. Now let's go here, and here is today's link. Today link, join when you can. Perfect. So that's that. So now I gotta make sure that waiting room is off and to play a sound when she arrives, so I know that she's here. And now I can close this window, and that will be it. Cool. So now I'm going to jump to Fortnite, so you can see what I mean by that. Like, they already share 3 different experiences, right? That you are going to be able to like visit right now. As soon as you install Fortnite, you can jump in, you can select the type of game, and at the top row, there are all the different experiences that Epic has created or someone has created for Epic, right? And usually you had like battle royale, no building, and you have creative, and you have a couple others. Mainly, these season pass events, right? But now there are 3 more that allegedly were created with UEFN, and you can enter and visit them. And for what I see, and I did a video about it, so if you check it out, if you don't want to install the whole thing and just watch the video, there are represented by 3 different genre. And the first one was like a cinematic visit, so it's like exploring, and there are a couple of things that can attack you, but it's not like very how can I say, hello Elena, you're here. All right, let me show everybody. Hello. All right, I need to do one more thing, and that is to have this to communicate with Elena. And that's it. Let me check that everything is good while Fortnite is turning on. So, can you hear me? All right, this is good. I can see her. Turn off video. All right. Maybe she cannot. She can't hear us. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, this is on. All right, now I can hear you. Hello, 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 hello. How are you? So, great, great, great. Very happy to have you with us today. And everybody in the chat should be exploding right now. Like, hello. All right. So I was, just responding to questions, and people were asking like if, UEFN was ready to start. They can't. All right. Fortnite is extremely loud, and that's weird because I cannot hear Fortnite. Give me just a second. Settings, audio, main. Let me drop it there. And just to be sure, right? We're not going to have many voices here. That's it. And back. All right. Test. Elena, Felici. All right. Let me just check in OBS. All right. Talk now and see. Nope. Why is that? Give me just a second. Give me. All right. How about now?
Hello, hello. Test 1,
All
2,
right.
1,
Now,
2.
now they do.
1, 2. They do? Okay.
Yes, good. Yes. Everything is good. Now, right? Now everybody can hear you. So again, hello, and welcome to the live broadcast.
Thank you.
All right, good. So, let me just finish this thought, and that was, when you install your Fortnite, you're going to see that there is this big window here, and here is where you're going to be able to switch, the experience that you want to, visit with Fortnite, right? So at the top, there is everything done by Epic. So it's this thing right here. And as you see, there are a couple. But at the beginning, you're going to find, everything famous. That is Battle Royale. And you have the Zero Build Battle Royale. That is the same, but you cannot build on it, which is great. And then you have Forest Guardian, the Space Inside, and Desert Domination. So these are the three new experiences that they created or someone created for Epic. And this one is like a cinematic, a little bit of fight, thing. It's like a hack and slash one-time experience that you can go through, and it's beautiful. And it will show you well, what they're trying to do with the engine in this scenario. Graphics are not amazingly, the dragon it's perfect. Like the dragon is the only thing that really blew my mind about this one. But for the rest, it will show you, how it works. Then the Space Inside is a non-violent. It's just you, on a cinematic type of adventure where you have some um, um, cinematic cuts, in between, and it will take you from point A to point D at the end, and you can experience the whole thing. It's very good. And of course, they have the Desert Domination, and this is a fun shooting game. So these are the three things that they are recommending you to do. Like a little bit of fighting, single player. Let's go and finish this adventure. It could be just a cinematic, no fighting, and showcase, stuff around. And then there is, let's create a Fortnite map so people can shoot themselves in. So yeah, and just to show you, you're going to have also the second row is for player favorites. And these are a bunch of different islands that already have a lot of traffic, and people are, consistently getting to this island and playing. And as you see, they have like 20 players, 12 players experiences, 20 players, and there is this 85 level escape room. So they do have like escape rooms in this, and I think that this is going to be huge. So already you can create all these just with creative, but now with the help of UEFN, you're going to see that you're going to get, a much better, experience. Let me see if this thing has photographs. It's like, yeah, it's like playing Fortnite, but in a modern warfare type of scenario, with everything photorealistic, but the actual characters. Just because characters in Fortnite won't change, and you won't be able to change it, right? But everything about the environment you will. So yeah. And just to show you, there are new experiences recently played, and then you have like the different types of games. So you have Fortnite competitive and hidden gems, and if you start searching, there are a lot, like a lot of these things that you can go and play. So yeah, and this is things are published. You can also visit your friend's island and play with them in their island without them being published. So yeah, I mean, this is very, very, very amazing, and it's big, man. This thing, it's blowing up for sure. Like I saw someone in Reddit that did or redid. Oh my god, what's the name of that game? Super Hot, the game that only things move when you move in Fortnite UFN. It's like not a single week has passed and people are already doing like amazing things with it. So yeah, for sure, this thing will blow up, but really, really, really big. All right. Okay, so um,
All
what do you
right.
have for us today, Elena?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. So we chatted a bit yesterday, right? And
Yes.
we discussed a bit about something
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
would have been nice to have in our little package of animation, blueprint animations in editor. So today, rather than working, I decided to do that.
Oh, really? Also,
Yes.
you skip work to do this? Don't.
No, it's freelance work. Freelance
All
work.
right, all right, all right. Cool, 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 cool. All right.
Um, so let me just close some stuff if you want me to share my screen.
Of
Okay.
course. Of course. Let's do it.
Um, okay, let's do this. So, oh, you might need to enable it.
Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. It's here and there. Ready.
Ready? Okay.
Yes.
So. Screen number 1.
All right, let me read a couple of comments here. So Cute Monkey says yes and hello. And Liam says, hi Elena. Hi everyone says care. And Asum Sake says Elena with a open mouth emoji.
Yeah, he's a colleague of mine. That's why he wrote that.
All right. Would be interesting to see some stats on how to and on how each of these islands perform when some time passes. There is nothing hidden in the internet. I'm guessing those numbers are somewhere. Like there are people who knows, how many people are on that game or that other game. I don't know if that might be possible. Like I'm not certain that that thing will be possible with single islands, but for sure, yeah, people would know which ones are hot. The word spreads out. All right, good. So what we do have here. So this was the work that we were set to do. So we find out that the animations for the third person template are trash. So they're not very good for what we want to do. And we were
Right.
bound to find some sort of animations that were free and accessible by anyone, so we can tap on those and use them, and then be that they could be packaged and sent to you without any copyright issues. So we thought of using the city crowd characters, and those has some walking and walking fast, not running, but at least walking fast animation. So that was the mission for Elena. And let's see. Oh, I see those
Right.
animations right there.
Right. So the first thing that we talked about doing was basically retargeting, right? Because when you have a skeleton, I'm gonna open a sample animation. You're just gonna see a skeleton because I don't actually have the city crowd blueprint set up. But anyways,
All right.
um, so we had these animations, right? But they weren't quite compatible with the mannequins that we were using, right? The skeleton of these two guys
All right.
is different from this one slightly, not so much. Most of the bones are the same, but the metahuman, this guy has
Mm-hmm.
a bit more bones, like
All right.
functionalities. So, and this is something you're gonna find. We made this little package. I think the idea would be to share it with you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah,
Gabe.
that's right. That's right. It's going to be offered as a freebie for the community, so you can spread it out and use it at large, however you want.
Right. So I'm gonna just be in the in-editor animation folder. That's the one that you're gonna find if you download our kit, basically, and so that you know where to find stuff. So the IK rig I created for the metahuman, you're gonna find it in the rigs folder, and this was the first step, basically, right? It's something that you require in order to retarget. So that's the first thing I did,
Exactly,
and
because Elena is going to, because this is how we roll here. Like we're not going to give you like the final stuff, but the final stuff with the stuff that we needed to make it. So everything is included into the package. But don't be afraid, because some of these are there, but they're not going to be necessary to tweak or do something with it. You should, in the end, you should have either a mannequin or a metahuman type of character that you're going to be able to use right out of the gate, like start dragging him, and you like the big deal here is the actual animation blueprint. Like that is the one that is going to carry the whole weight of the system.
Right. So yeah, I mean, just to show like where I got stuck. So I started like, let me just reset something so you guys see how bad this looked at the beginning.
They look so similar, right?
They're very similar skeletons, right? And also the IK rig is basically the same as the IK mannequin. But the IK metahuman does have a few more bones, especially down here, like interaction, central mass. That's all stuff that we don't have in the IK mannequin.
Right. Right.
Um,
I see.
but that's okay because we just don't retarget them. Okay. If you want to know more about retargeting, animation retargeting, there is an amazing video um, in the Lyra breakdown that Unreal Engine did, where they showcase like a few example of like two different methods of retargeting, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I did all of this, and I was like, okay, this is gonna work, right? I don't see why it shouldn't work. But then,
Famous last words.
exactly. Let me just choose a male animation. Forward. Okay, then you see this.
Oh,
Awful. And I was like, okay, why is this
it's
happening?
like tumbling.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, why is this happening? Have I said something wrong? Is it the spine, the pelvis? Is it
Right.
what's happening, right? And everything was it was okay. Like the first thing I did just to check
So,
if I did something wrong was just disabling this guy and the IK
all right.
just to see whether it changed something, like disabling the entire retargeting basically,
Right.
and it was still there. So
Which bone
it
are you
was in
using
the
as a root? The actual root, right? So is root for both? The root of the retargeting?
the root is the pelvis in both.
Oh, the retarget root is the pelvis. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, and that's correct because if you set
Yeah.
the
You
the
won't
root
have
as root is not
you,
gonna have
yeah,
anything.
you won't have the bounds of the hip or the translation of the hip. All right.
Exactly. So then if we dial this down,
All right. Let me
look at
move
that.
you around so people know what you move. So is
Oh,
the rotation
sorry.
alpha for what? The root?
For the root. Yeah, so you need to
Oh,
go on the root settings and then we dial this down
and now it's
and then it
perfect.
works.
I don't
But
know if
took me
I
a
don't know
bit.
if everybody can see it, but on my side, with the frame rate of what Zoom can transmit, I can see the hip of the crowd metahuman, like doing some fighting them,
Snapping.
is doing like some snapping. So that may be one of the things that would happen, with that rotation. So when you turn off the rotation alpha, is like you saying to that retargeting that all you need is the translation from that bone and not the rotation, right?
So the up and down. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Even though when I get close to it, it seems fine. Okay, well,
LODing
I mean,
of the character, that's a thing.
yeah, that's true. Um, well, anyways, it works if we just turned off the rotation alpha. It's weird because I mean, when you see it walking, the city crowd character is fine. You don't see any
Mm-hmm.
snaps, so it was weird for me. But now you know in case you get stuck with this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
So
the good thing about you um um releasing everything that was needed to be done on the thing is that people are going to be able to you know take the work from where it is and start expanding it, because one thing that is very good about those characters is that you have a bunch of different animations with variations to the walking and with variations, from gender, from male to female type of walking and stuff like that. I'm guessing we are going to be providing it with just one variation, and it's going to be upon, each and every one of you who wants to use this thing to keep retargeting stuff and, and keep creating different animation blueprints with, the different variations. There are some, that are going to be, looking at the time or holding a cup. There are some that are specially made for one of those metahumans that were carrying a backpack, like they walk a little bit more stiff and stuff like that. So they did a bunch of different animations, and we're going to be only providing one variation, but you're going to have the full system below, under the hood to keep improving.
Exactly. And this system will work since now it's you got the retargeting asset for the metahuman. Basically, any mocap that you do is with the metahuman skeleton is going to work with the retargeting asset or any other animation that you have already for the metahuman. You will be able to retarget it for the mannequin. So that's something free for you guys.
Cool, amazing.
So just to show the way I did it so that you guys know, it's pretty simple and fast once you have everything set up. Let me just go on
the first
the
step
character.
of having the animations spread through the metahuman crowd to the mannequin is done. And now you would have it not only for the metahuman crowd, but also for the metahuman and for the no, not for the metahuman. The metahuman comes later because Elena did like some witchcraft stuff where like she's going to concentrate all the animations on the actual mannequin, and for other metahumans it's going to use like a runtime retargeting to make those possible. So you're not going to have to that did work. Did you?
That's not actually done yet.
All
it's
right,
something
so
that I wanted
that
to
is going to
try
be in
out
the
with you
future.
guys.
Exactly. So right now,
Yes, exactly.
The animation retargeting from the crowd metahumans to the Manny is done, and that's the first step on this, weird lab thing that we're doing.
Exactly. So yes, so once you have the animations that you want to retarget, you just select them all and then retarget animation and duplicate and retarget. This basically will just duplicate them and then retarget them to the mannequin. So yes, from there we have these two guys, right? And then we have the animation blueprints. They were already set up by Gabe. So I was expecting they would have worked out of the get-go, and yet they didn't. And so, this is where missing my job came into place.
Are we going to explain, first of all, that we have like two situations here, and that is because we're bound to find some characters that are just characters. So there are going to be just a skeletal mesh with some bones, and and that is one of the possibilities. But the other possibilities is to find characters that are inside blueprints, and they're not going to be exactly the same way of treating them. So that's why we are dividing the waters and saying, right, we're going to have one workflow for characters that are just a skeletal mesh, and one workflow for characters that are inside a blueprint, just like mannequins, right? Just like metahumans, I mean.
Yes. Exactly. And yeah, so we have this guy with the capsule, which is the blueprint character. And then we have just the skeletal mesh over here. And they are having two different animation blueprints. At some point, I hope we might be able, but yeah, I mean, it would be nice to unify them into one, but we talked about it yesterday, Gabe, and we still need first of all, you wanted to give some freedom to them if they wanted to animate this guy with the gameplay framework, and the skeletal mesh wouldn't be able to do that. And so for that, we needed the character movement. So I guess that's why.
Yeah. Yes, exactly because of that. So
All right.
we want it to be as universal as needed, right? So it should move in editor without play if you grab it and move it around. But if you want to be if you want it to be a pawn and still hit play and move it around, it should also work that way. So it will work both ways for the character controller type of character.
Exactly. Okay. So from there, I got stuck in two places. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is that here I was using a greater than rather than a less
Yeah.
than. And then I realized that mathematically, if I made, so, whenever I was, okay, let me just explain what we did here. Or maybe you already explained last time. Anyways, we're taking the ground speed of the character, which is calculated from the forward vector
All right.
of
Let, let's
our,
let's do it. Let's explain it this way. Show both of your blend spaces. So that should bring a lot of light into what we're trying to do. So blend spaces are the place where you in a 3D or in this case a 2D graph, you add a couple of animations and then you assign like some sort of um, mixed chances, right? So in this case, we have two speeds. We have a forward speed and we have a direction speed, or a side speed, right? And different animations are assigned to where those two values, right, happens, and the interpolation between those values will create that sort of mixed movement that you see right there, right? And that is what a blend space is. And when you want to combine that with the information on how the character should be moving, then you need to access it, right? So the character can go in the animation machine, right, in the state machine, from being idle to be running forward or running backwards or running sideways, and you need to do that with a boolean, and that boolean should be calculated from the actual speed of the character. So if the character had some speed in some direction, the animation blueprint will get informed and will know which way to go in the state machine, right? And the state machine that we have right now, it's a simple one, that will only be from idling to moving forward or moving backwards, right? So that is what we have right now. And in
yeah,
each and every one of these arrows is that particular boolean saying, all right, the character is moving forward. Well, I need to go and activate the blend space for moving forward and backwards, for moving forwards and sideways. And if it moves backwards, it will use like the space, the um, the the blend space that just have the animations, but for the backward movements, right? All right, now
exactly.
knowing that, let's see the mathematical conundrum. So what we're saying here is a little bit simpler. It's like if the ground speed, right, goes, forward so much, it will prompt that walking forward boolean to be on, right, to be true, and that will in turn, do that stuff that we talk about in the animation graph. And if it goes backwards, then it should do another thing. But then we have the sideways, thing, and sadly we don't have, because we want to mix that sideways movement with a forward movement. It means that it won't have its own boolean, but we're going to repeat, that um, behavior or blend space for forward and backward. So the side movements are replicated in both spaces, right? One for forward and sides, and one for backwards and sides also.
Exactly. Yeah, that's they're replicated in both. Yeah. So one thing that like took me a while to figure out was the how much
Mhm.
it should be, the range
Yeah.
of the direction and the speed. Because I was starting with 500 and it wasn't really behaving the way I wanted. So actually, the easiest way to make this smooth in a way It's for me was to duplicate the walk. So I have the walk here and I have the walk over here. Those are the same animation.
All right.
Okay. And I'm keeping that walk until I'm ready to snap onto running. I had to do that, elsewise if I removed this, the guy was just like entering a weird area of nonsense animation.
Almost walking, but not walking.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the
So
constipated walk that Cute Monkey was saying.
exactly. So, and I did the same thing here. The side 45, this is 45 walk, is basically staying until here. And then if I really want to push it all the way horizontally, that's when I go for the left or the right movement.
And this is so much easier when this is just a character, right? Because the character movement from the character controller is fixed. Like the actual character controller class has the actual maximum speed at walking, maximum speed at running, and side movement, and everything is controlled by a maximum, and very predictable maximum speed, right? But because we're not using it in an actual character controller, but we're going to be animating the distance that this character can move from one place to another in a specific time, like then we are at a complete loss, because now we are relying on the actual speed of the animation, and God knows at what speed the character animator animated that character to be displays transforming himself, right? So if we wanted to have like a good contact of the feeds, then we're going to have to figure out, all right, this dude made this animation, like how fast is this guy moving, and that should be his maximum, right? And then in between it should be that space between the idling or the walking to the running and stuff like that. So yeah, it's very hard. I know that part was bound to be figured out, and I guess that you did it wonderfully. All right, that's good.
So actually, let me just put this guy. So one way of figuring out how much input we are giving these guys is by printing the forward speed and the side speed values. So that's something, it's printing, it's very common in like game development or blueprinting overall, just to understand what's going on. So when stuff wasn't working, that's what I was doing, just to understand if it was receiving any input. Okay. It's not refreshing my animation blueprint.
Oh, you need to go back to the animation blueprint, and because we're not in play, you need to choose the preview instance. So at the top, beside the, can I write? Give me just a second.
Here.
Oh yeah, exactly.
This one.
Yes. So you need to assign the actual instance that is being used in the map, and now it will. All right. Do one thing. All right.
Well, that's it's fine.
Yeah. All right.
So it's like actually pretty low values.
Right.
But the forward one is, well, it's also hard to see. Let me just close this. You should have printed it. Yeah. So, well, what I wanted to show is that they're hard to target anyways.
Sure. By any means.
Because so it's like minus 500, minus 900, minus 600. So that's where I think the struggle is going to come in, like you were saying. So try to figure out how to get a smooth transition between the various animations. So let me just take this out. It was just to show you guys how you could troubleshoot this if you wanted to make it more precise. All right. So basically, that's what we did. But I wanted to ask you something.
Sure.
Is it because of the physics asset that this guy is not going on ramps? Well, not this guy, and the other one are actually like getting. This one is.
Yeah, there's going to be
Okay,
a
I know
point
why.
where he's going to go, yeah, it's because you need to raise up a little bit so he's always going to be landing. So if you select the actual transform of this guy and move it up, you can see that, oh, he's not landing. That's weird. So it's like can you set him with 1 foot in the ramp and 1 foot outside the ramp so I can check something?
I
Because
don't know if I unplugged the control rig or not, but let's see. No,
all
I
right, no,
didn't on this one.
the
Okay.
control brick is there. So yeah, so the actual IK foot will work up to a point, but if you keep dragging it on the same height and the actual ramp goes higher and higher, there's going to be a point where the IK gets broken, and he's not going to follow. Do you see there? So yeah,
Yeah.
you he's going to be following the terrain, but on a distance. You are going to be animating the C of the character at some point to maintain him roughly, with the level, and the rest of the AK of the foot should follow the rest of the bumps and the rocks or whatever is on the way, or a step or something. But yeah,
Right.
it won't be like a C animation, like a 0C animation, right? And make the character follow the full thing. It's bound to have a little bit of that C animation for it to work.
So I'm gonna show you one more thing. Okay, so this guy is connected. Here, as soon as I plugged the result in the output pose, it crashed. Reason why the blueprint is not following the ramps. I can do it now. I
Oh,
just saved.
all right.
And if I compile,
It crashed.
yeah.
Oh, look at
So
that.
it seems like it's a control rig issue, so maybe it's not seeing the control rig, or maybe when you transfer me the files, the control rig messed up somehow.
Right.
Maybe it
Yeah.
cannot find the skeleton.
Yep. All right. Not to worry. Not to worry. It's a thing that we can easily troubleshoot. All right. Not to worry.
Yeah.
But the result is getting very good. Having a way of just translating the character and having moving around, activating all those animations without having to go and play. Have you tested him on a rig rail?
Yeah, I can show that too.
All right.
And then we can check. I mean, this is also something that me and you can check outside of the stream, as you prefer. So yeah, and you will find that in the kit as well, just for you guys to look at this guy. Just for you guys to know how to constrain the skeletal mesh onto a camera rig rail. This is, unless you enable something that I don't know about, it's not going to work out of the get-go. You need to press play. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So
all right, the walking still needs a little bit of massaging, but
yes.
again, it is a thing of just figuring out those values, on from where to where he should be walking. Like, it's going to be more of a trial and error for sure.
And I'm thinking that maybe those values should be somehow exposed to the animators.
Yes.
What
Of
do you
course.
think? Because I guess, like you were saying, it's gonna depend also on the kind of shot and the speed the characters will be going at. So you might need different types of smoothing of the animation.
Right.
So let's see if this guy manages to go on the ramp. Yeah,
He should.
look at
There it
him.
is.
Let me just. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, but he's running backwards there. Why is he running backwards? Let me see.
Now it's running backwards always. You know what? That's the reason why I was thinking of joining both. How do
Oh
you
no,
spell
it's
it?
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not running backwards. I don't know why it
Joining
was running backwards.
both spaces because again we are duplicating this side movement right on the forward and backwards. And if he moves a little bit sideways, he might think he's going forward. So the and you know the or might be confused. But yeah, sure. I mean, the big part that was so we are very very far ahead. Like we have all the animations in one character, animations that does work with sideways animations, and we also have the the IK and everything going on good. So I'm guessing this is just a matter of sit down and start testing all the speeds and everything. How so he does have like a good walk. um
That would be amazing if it could kick the thing, but I guess it is a physics asset,
oh, you should be able to turn up. You don't have simulations without play.
right? Yeah, exactly. That's something that would be cool to implement. But so
Yeah,
does that mean that we can replace this dummy with a meta human?
that's one of the. So you're not going to be replacing it. You're going to have a separate animation blueprint. So how this is going to work is the 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 next way. So you're going to have two animation blueprints. One that is going to be for no, I mean three animation blueprints. Sorry, you're going to have one for a skeletal mesh, mannequin type of skeletons, and then you're going to have one for character controller, mannequin type of skeletons, and then you're going to have one for metahumans, right? Directly just for metahumans, and that's it's going to be like the mannequin type of character controller, just because it is inside a blueprint, right? So there are going to be three separate animation blueprints. So you are going to be able to bound and choose, whichever you want, depending on the situation. And the only thing that is going to be required for that animation blueprint to work on, on the case of the metahumans, it's going to be a lot easier because, the metahuman, it's universal. So where it is installed, the path, it's the same in every computer and in every project. So we can be sure that that one will work anywhere. And so you're going to have to drop your metahuman and you're going to be assigning that animation blueprint. And as soon as you grab him and start moving him around, he should start animating, right? That is the promise. That is how it should work. For the mannequins, it's going to be a little bit different because in that case, you might have your own character that happens to have a mannequin type of skeleton assigned to it, and you are going to have to do the skeleton compatibility, and that's it. So having the skeleton compatibility between those two characters, your character and the character that the mannequin that we're going to provide, that will allow him to use the animation blueprint. And as soon as you add that animation blueprint to him, and you start dragging him around, he should start moving. That is how it should work. So let's read a couple of the comments so far. How far are we? All right. People are saying that we should have an emergency stream in case this one breaks down. Yeah, yesterday the thing went down like poof, and I was speaking to the ether like for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you told me in the evening we
Yeah,
had.
horrible,
Oh,
horrible experience.
what happened here?
To see if stats on this. All right, the stats that's done. So Gabriel, will this stream will be yes every stream, but yesterday it is hang on the channel as soon as it ends. So yeah, everything is going to be right there for everybody to rewatch as soon as we end. Um, it actually happens in editor. That is the big thing. Yeah, that's you responding, and I'm reading your comment. I'm such a fool. All right, 9 people are watching the work that the Epic should show to the masses. You know, it is not like that, and it is actually the other way around. Like there is this thing that is so different about Unreal that any other piece of software. Maybe not that different, but it's a thing that people assumes, right? Like people ask you, like, do you know how to work with Maya? And people, if you say yes, people will assume that you know Maya from top to bottom, and that is not a thing, like ever. Uh, I work a lot with Maya. I was a technical director for Maya projects, and it doesn't matter how much you know about a program, there is bound to be someone who specializes in some area who's going to be much better than you, in that regard. And in Unreal, it's not different, in that sense. And it's not only not that different, but it's more apparent with every new thing that they're, creating. Um, I just well, at some point I was looking at the sound stuff and the new sounds, the meta sounds and the Quartz, the not the Quartz, yeah, the Quartz engine for sounds and music inside Unreal Engine. That thing is bonkers. Like you need to find an audio engineer to work with your projects if you want to use those things because they are created in a way that is normal for someone in the sound industry to work with. So that really rules all of us, to work with that thing. You can do a couple of things here and there, but to really tap the big the big scheme on how they work, you need people who specialize in that thing. And the same is for everything. Like this new scattering stuff, I just opened it like yesterday and I was like, all right, this thing is hard. This thing is like Houdini for Unreal. And at some point, you're going to be sitting down and having this conversation with yourself. Oh my God, it crashed. And
No, but I was I pushed it.
you,
I
you
pushed
were
it.
pushing it, right? So
Yes,
at
it's
some
my
point,
fault.
you're going to sit down and speak to yourself and say, all right, what do I want to do with Unreal? What is going to be my specialty, right? The lone wolf of working with Unreal, and that's sadly how Unreal has been taught for many years. And there should be an academy, like that is being in the planning, that should, fix that kind of stuff. But teaching Unreal as an individual should not be a thing. Like we should be teaching Unreal as a group and working on group projects and making your collaboration into the thing because that is really how you are going to end up working, right? Lone wolf type of projects will still be good, but if you surround yourself with a couple of people, you're going to be able to do something much better than what anyone on its own is going to be able to do. And Epic thinks the same way. Epic, it's going to give you the tools, and there's bound to be someone who is going to take those tools to a higher place. And that is what we're trying to do this, with this thing. I can't believe that no one have ever thought of using an animation blueprint in editor, like not in play but in editor, and that thing should be firing up all the animations while you are moving the things around. All right, why? It's there, and I think that someone at Epic thought like this could be a good thing, and they would say like, yeah, but we're not using it anywhere, right? It's not in Fortnite, it's not in any of our products. So why should we do that? Allow them to go and explore and create and then sell the thing, or in our case give it to the public so you can use it and continue, take that torch and say, all right, I like what you did there, but I want to do it even much better. All right, so that is how it should be. um, let's see. So how much this logic happen in sequencer, right? everything is being drawn out from the actual position. So the transform of the character is whatever the animation blueprint is reading. So as soon as you move it, it should start working. Like there is one particular place where it doesn't happen that way, and that is in the rig rail. That if you hit, if you scrub, it doesn't fire up the animation, and that is understandable because really that thing is not moving. That thing is attached to a thing that later will move. It's weird, um, the 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 rig rail. But if you grab that character and drop it on a sequencer and you move it around, it should start firing up the animations depending on the direction and the speed that that thing has in editor without having to play. And that's a dream. That's what we are fighting hard to achieve. The links for the targeting process. All right. Yeah. So we should have links for those. Yeah, for sure. Does that means that we can replace this dummy with a metahuman now? Well, I just responded that. So it's going to have its own animation blueprint, and as soon as you assign it, you drag it, and he should move. That is how it should work. All right. So we got to the end of the chat.
Yeah,
So
I'm just
um,
adding the links
I
that we talked about.
I want to congratulate you, Elena. Everything is looking fine. You did the hard work there. Everything is looking amazing. So, what do you think? You want me to keep massaging the speeds with or even try to do that mix that we thought yesterday of having only one blend space for the full thing, because that might help a little bit of that initial moment when you start moving, to um, concentrate on only one. Practically having two is a lot easier because you can sit down and do one, and once that is done, you can replicate it for the backward movements. But again, you have that issue where he thinks that he's moving a little bit to the side, and he doesn't know, which two directions should he go, either forward or
Yeah,
backwards.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
yeah, for sure, that logic there is flow, is not good. We should find out a much better way of doing that logic there. And as soon as we get it, you're still fighting the crash. Then let it be, let it
Well,
go.
now it worked. Oh no, never mind. No, I think it's gonna. Oh, it's
Oh,
this. Is the default group.
huh. Oh,
Um,
maybe because that one may be old from another. Let's try it now. Maybe it will work. This is in the case of the capsule one, right? The character controller one. No. Oh my god.
it lasted.
Crash. Ah,
It
that's
lasted
good.
after the compile, though. Maybe it was just tired, so it delayed a bit.
I was having issues also. Like as soon as I start tracking, this is everything that it's doing now for some reason. And I didn't even touch it from yesterday. Like I don't know what is happening. Um so
Um, but yeah, I mean, feel free to massage it and
sure. It's
do
just
the runtime IK retargeting
sure.
for the
So
metahuman.
what I mean by massaging is going to be this thing here. So sorry, this thing here. So we are going to have this walk run stuff, right? And again, when you have a character controller driving the actual speed at which one character move, this thing is pretty easy because if you set 300 units to walk and 500 units to run, then you simply come here and you assign that specific um, value, and that's it. So at 200 it's the maximum walking speed, and that is perfect. And at 500 it's going to be the maximum running speed, and that is perfect, right? But when
Right.
you don't have that ability, right? Because we are really driving the delta of the transform through animation. So we are telling this character go from here to there. Which speed is he going to have, in between? That is on its own, right? Because now it's going to be driven by curves and keys and the direction and the position and everything. So it's going to be completely different as what we have here, and a lot more complex, right? Because we now also have the sideway movement, right? So yeah, the should this be here or there, right? So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
the thing that we must start, right? Let's test it. How it's going to be transitioning from being so he's going to be doing the walking place as soon as he is moving forward or backwards more than 3 units of Unreal per second, right? So that means that at a pretty very low speed, he's going to start doing this, right? But then he's bound to start accelerating, and then he's going to start doing this thing, right? Should I go faster? And because we're watching this thing on a in place, we don't see the actual movement of the ground, so you don't see if he's dragging his feet or sliding or doing some weird stuff. So you're going to have to move it, save it, go back here, attach this character to an actual why is this thing doing this weird walking? Look at that.
It's nice.
It's it's something, right?
What what
I
is
I don't
that?
know what I did. You know what? The only thing that I did was to add it to the ALS, the animation. Oh my god! Yeah, the skeleton. I made it compatible with another one, so this thing is working here. So I don't know.
Bart is
And
asking if it is the world transform axis for the feet.
the world transform
The bone.
axis.
I guess the bone. I think he's referring to the
Huh.
the little sphere that is, yeah.
Let me see if I can, because I can also make it work from here. I should move forward, and if I start adding velocity in whatever thing is forward here, y, so it should be x, y. No, no, it's not velocity. Sorry, it's forward speed. This is side speed and forward speed. So this one. So as soon as I start doing this, he should start moving. So
He's
he's not doing
dancing.
it, and that's weird. It's like it is working on the blend space, but it's not working here. Huh. All right. Maybe I need to restart the engine or something. But yeah, sure. I mean, it's bound to be something, like this, right? That we need to have like not all the speeds are going to be working. So this is just barely, doing that 3 units per second. So you can see how it's trying, it's crossing. So sidestepping, it's like on and off, right? If it takes enough information, to a side movement, then it should start, doing the right thing. The same thing will
Mm-hmm.
happen with the forward, right? So a little bit of it, and it will start doing some ins and outs, right? From the
Yeah.
boolean, like it's true is false, it's true is false, so it doesn't know what to do. But with enough, speed forward, the things start working and everything looks fine. And the same with the speed backwards. When it goes a little bit, slow, everything breaks down. But and that is the sweet spot, right? When we must, move the thing a little bit forward, a little bit backwards until we get something that
Yeah.
works. And one good way of fixing this is to have an actual. So this would be the way that I would go and fix it. So I would go to the MCO basics and go animation and go mobility and take a root motion for walking, right? For example, this one, and I would drop it there and I would point it, that way, and I would go to animation, advanced, no, skeleton, and I would enable update animation in editor. And now I do have like a good, you know, reference of on how fast the character should be moving for it to be walking, right? And I would then match this speed with, you know, my the mannequin character and start, you know, tweaking those, you know, spaces until everything looks fine. Like I would do a full, you know, speed, you know, animation from start to moving to stop with a length, and I should be able to replicate it just by, you know, moving
Yeah.
this guy with a sequencer, right? So starting here and then moving there, so he should start moving almost, you know, in the same fashion as
Yeah.
doing it by hand. So that is my homework now. All right, all right, all right, all right. So we are pretty close to the end of the second hour of the
Animation
of yeah
Tuesdays.
of Animation Tuesday. So we are almost at the end. I want to thank everyone. Let's give it a round here. So now the sun is gone, and I am like a serial killer in this thing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I need to move maybe and find a place where I have some sort of control out of the sun. Like, how hard would it be to control the sun with some shades, right? All right, now I'm there. Now I'm fine. Cool, cool, cool. So let's see what else we have here today or next time for what. If there is time to, it's time. Do you think you could talk about integrating sequencer events into ABPs? Uh, what do you think for today? Not at all. Like with 2 hours in, this is like a thing to sit down and start. You know, but this is a good thing to take into consideration. Um, you know, to have like dust and sounds and stuff coming from the feeds. That could be a good thing also. You know, in the far future to also, you know, tap into this thing, right? So for sure, we are going to be able to talk about that um, and all the animations for what I saw from the Matrix Awaken crowd do have the how they are called the events. There are the replicators, something like that are called. I can't remember.
Mm.
You know those green stuff every time he puts his foot
Oh,
down.
the notifiers.
The notifiers, exactly. So having those to work, they're already there. So yeah, for sure, we're going to be able to do some stuff with that. Um, oh, Bartos, yeah, the 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 world transform. I really don't know why it's not working on my side. I will fix it soon. Don't you worry. Um, and he says, what would happen if you would attach the pelvis root motion animation to the other one with animation blueprint in the viewport? Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could attach it, and that would do it for sure. And so that would be like the final test. That would be approval, right? The seal of approval that this thing is completely working. It's all right. Let's attach this thing to an animation made by hand that it's looking good, that it took work, right, to make it look this good. And let's even surpass it. So it will start and end, but then we're going to sway, right, in a path. The kind of things that will make, you know, everything break down in a root type of animation scenario. Yeah, for sure. That is a very, very nice suggestion. And all right, everybody's saying thanks. So I'm going to. I need to have like a way of seeing you. And yeah, this should be. I'm not going to be there, but that's good. Like I don't care. I want to thank you. This is your show. This is Animation Tuesday. So say goodbye to everybody, and we will be seeing on the next
Goodbye.
one.
Yes. And we're gonna be looking into more stuff. It's gonna be interesting. You guys
Right,
shouldn't
for
miss
sure.
this.
That's right. That's right. All right. So, as usual, be good to everybody around you, and be sure to know that I love you all very much. And we will be catching you on the next one. All right.
Yes. See you next week.
See you next week. And being seen, we are going to have, maybe not next week, because on Friday we're going to have UEFN Friday. That's the thing now.
Yes. And you
So
guys should join that too.
you have your own lot in the project, and Bardos also have one, Franco have one, I have one, and I know that Logan also asked me to join. So let's see how many people we can, gather on Friday, and let's break UEFN. All right. Hope
Yeah.
to see you
Let's
there.
see how much it can handle.
Exactly. All right. Everybody, love you all, and we
Awesome.
will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.